Hello. Welcome everybody to the Streakers On podcast. I think my hello might have scared Lane because camera dropped and went, hello. But welcome in everyone. I hope you're having a lovely Sunday. It is I, Jacob Morley, self-proclaimed sports analyst, deciding to wear two Toronto teams that didn't know how to play sports this week. Toronto Blue Jays on the chest, Toronto Argonauts on the head. I digress. Joined today by Mr. Lane Dashing Dashko. Who is he drinking milk?
Water.
Okay, the way the light's hitting it, I thought maybe you were trying to.
I thought it was milk too, to be honest.
And trying to get that milk power. I said milk power. Anyone who's whatever. And of course, we have Chazzy 7.63. Chocolate milk, white milk, strawberry milk. The next update, he's going to run on eggnog, mother truckers. It's going to be a great time. We all love. Well, I don't know if everyone here likes eggnog. Mr. More for Your Money's also on the show, who's 50-50 on eggnog.
I like the taste. I hate the smell. So I could drink it like this all day long. I would love it.
But
I won't do that again.
Right before we start the show, I am going to address the elephant in the room. And just as a quick reminder to all our island friends, no bad language, slurs, or any inappropriate comments will be tolerated during the stream. Keep it respectful or it will be removed. Let's keep the chat a fun and safe space for everyone. So just as a little bit of a quick reminder there, right? Like the Streakers Island is a place of friendship, not a place of bullying, teasing, harassing. Like, look at this guy. You can't be mean when this guy's on your screen. So, and Lane, literally with the way the light is, it looks like milk. I need
to cool down. That's okay.
Milk's delicious and nutritious, but we got to talk right away about the WWE because I think this is, really big right now in sports. And Lane, there was a bit of a surprise, I guess we'll say, for day two, but certainly not the type. Like, I know WWE is all about twists, but I don't know if this was the twist that I think a lot of fans were looking for.
Well, I can be honest. This is a surprise that I myself, to be honest, never thought we would see the light of day. As I put the light on me, I never thought we would see this or have to even talk about this. As you know, it was announced today, Triple H, Paul Levesque, who is head of the WWE Creative and the Chief OO, said that, keep in tune for SummerSlam because there's going to be something to talk about. And he was not kidding. As for the first time in 2 years, Brock Lesnar, and a lot of people might know that name for some pretty controversial reasons, but Brock Lesnar has returned to the WWE to take on John Cena once again. And when I heard the music, I was completely and utterly speechless. The fans seem to like it. I don't know how I sit.
Well,
it is certainly a surprise. I'm not gonna lie.
Definitely a twist.
It is a twist. It's an interesting decision by the WWE. I think we'll kind of leave it towards that, especially with a pending court case going on and the whole kit and caboodle. It was kind of like in the NHL where you had the Team Canada situation. Again, we don't need to get into the nitty-gritty details of that. None of us are lawyers. Chazzy might be a lawyer. He's got the glasses like he could be. No?
He is
a smart cookie. A great lawyer. But as everyone would know, usually during a court case in a trial and this sort of thing, these people would not be let back into the sports world until all this was kind of sorted out, we'll say, right? And not to take anything lightly of what's been accused or any allegations, but I am surprised, to be honest. I'm going to keep it a buck with you guys. I'm not a wrestling fan. I had no idea who this guy was. But when Lane explained it to me, the light hit Lane the way the light hit me with all that information. And I was surprised because, again, I don't know if it's the right publicity for the WWE. I understand you want twists, you want publicity, you want people to be like, what? But I don't know if that's
here we go.
What you're looking for. But Lane, we have a Lane fan in the comments.
I knew this was coming. I knew this was coming.
Well, as Kanye, my buddy Kanye says, any publicity is good publicity. I think that's what
I don't agree with you, Dan.
And I do want to address this. I can't believe, So
we're talking about it.
No, but what I am upset about is that they usually do a press conference. Them themselves usually do a press conference after a show, and isn't it convenient that all of a sudden, as of 12:42 p.m. today, they decided we're not going to do one tonight? I think that's weak. Yeah. I think that's really weak.
Let's be honest; they don't want to face the music of the track they just laid down, right? And
it's weak, though. It's weak, in my opinion.
Oh, I know. I totally 1,000% agree with you. Whether we like or lump some of the decisions the Canadian Football League has made, for example, with Sean Lemon and Chad Kelly, again, not comparing what has been accused. I'm just comparing of suspensions that were controversial in the sports world recently. The CFL did send out public statements. They did do press runs. The commissioners did talk to the media and really rationalize the decisions. Whether people agreed with them or not, well, that's for you to decide. But here, not the WNBA. The WNBA is a very different league than the WWE. I do want to say that. But it sounds like the WWE is kind of tiptoeing around this situation. Lane, I don't know if you'd agree with Not or Chazzy or more for, but to me, it sounds like they were hoping you might have just kind of forgot and just have been excited to see a wrestler back in the wrestling realm.
Well, that's the thing.
How's it going?
So there's the thing to say is I know a lot of the fans will, because of what's going on and because it's not really been proven or anything, a lot of the fans have wanted to see this superstar for a while. They've been asking about him. They've been really wanting him back, and I know a lot of the fans have been addressing it. And they want him back. They've been asking, where is he? Where is he? They've addressed it in the past that, he's just on his farm in Canada. He could come back whenever he wants. They have said, no, he actually does live in Saskatchewan. He was born in Minnesota, but he actually does live in Saskatchewan on a farm. And they have said in the past, whatever you heard outside of here, he's welcome back anytime. So they have addressed it, but they never brought him back. And it was getting to a point now where it's been a long enough time where it started to feel like we weren't going to see this guy again. Yeah. And, even we were joking about it. Even though me and my friend were joking, like, do you think we'll ever see it? Even we talking to my friend tonight, I was like, do you think we'll ever see it? And I like, maybe that's a surprise. And we were like, nah, that's not going to be it. Oh, boy, were we wrong, because I was like speechless. I was like, what?
So, I mean, it sounds like they got they were looking for a twist. And
they're looking for shock culture, basically.
And I understand getting shock value, but I mean, I thought it was shocking enough when the guy's just like, screw these crutches, I don't need them. I don't know why they just don't go to more that kind of showmanship, we'll say. Because let's be honest,
that's a good word for it.
WWE is about showmanship, I think, I think we could all agree to that. Like, it is. Yeah. It's entertainment. And what I'm saying, I'm not saying these athletes, because I am going to call them athletes, and they're not like poker players, which I still can't believe poker is considered a sport. And just calling that out.
It's very strategy.
So is having a lobotomy. I wouldn't call that.
So is accounting, right? But anyway,
yeah. But I think at the end of the day, it's an odd situation, and I don't know if it almost puts a damper on, from what I've heard and read, an overall pretty decent SummerSlam for some people. Like, it might put this down as like, it was great, but
they got the ending kind of spoiled it a bit.
Well, that's the thing. Like,
I think so.
Well, yeah, for sure. Like John Cena and Cody Rhodes,
muted.
Like, they had almost a 40-minute match tonight, and John Cena, like him or love him, he's here in what is his last year here, and he hasn't really been able to, go the way a John Cena match has gone. We haven't really seen John Cena perform at the level.
I haven't seen John Cena. Sorry, I had to get that in.
It's a good one, but we really haven't seen John Cena perform at the level that you're expected to as a wrestling fan. Like, he hasn't been able to go the distance. His stamina's not there. He's having trouble. You're starting to see Father Time really kick in with the physicality of WWE. Even though it's a big sport, there's still a lot that more goes into it with stamina, timing, hitting your spots. Getting to your spots and hitting your moves. You were starting to see the decline of John Cena not being able to go out there and perform at the level that you're expected to. And I got to be honest, tonight, he 1,000% through everything that he possibly can out there. This might be the best John Cena match I've seen in the last 3 or 4 years. He went out there and threw everything. He brought all the old moves back. He brought the John Cena. He brought the "you can't see me." He brought the attitude. He brought himself back. And this match that he had tonight with Cody Rhodes, from top to bottom, was just cinema. You were sitting on your couch. They threw every move. It was back and forth. Hit this guy, back and forth, bump rope, over the top rope, over the fin, into the crowd, through tables, through chairs, through ladders, finishing move after finishing move after finishing move, 2 counts, this in win, that's not a win. You didn't know when it was going to end. There were submissions. It was just all over the place. It was chaotic. It was exciting. It was groundbreaking. It really made you get invested. It was really exciting. And, when the match ended, you felt like, wow, we just sat through a cinematic wrestling match, an A+ caliber wrestling match. And then as soon as that music hits, you're like, what?
Wow.
I'll be honest.
So it almost sounds like it just wasn't even necessary. Like, I don't think, for what you're describing it, Lane, drinking your watered milk, I don't think it was needed in this day.
No.
It sounds like, if anything, again, correct me if I'm wrong, as you love to do, Mr. Dashko. You would say today was better than yesterday's overall, if you take away
100%.
the ending.
100%.
So then what was... I understand you want WWE back in the headlines, because I'll be honest, I don't think it's in the sports headlines the way it used to be. I just don't think this is the way to get it back in the headlines.
Lane, you seemed pretty happy last night.
Well, yeah. Well, again, that Seth Rollins kind of like that Seth Rollins angle, and it stood it to the boys. It was exciting, right? Like that was a night where it was fun and exciting. We got to come on here, be like, wow, there was this big twist. And I do agree with Jacob. I think you got to go more in that direction, where you twist the fans more that way, with a fake injury that's not an injury. That's kind of more of an entertainment. This is kind of like, you're like, wow, this is crazy. But what's going to follow this, and how is this going to be perceived with the fans going forward? Is it going to turn into a negative thing? Is it positive today, negative tomorrow?
That's my thing with it, because people may be excited now, but to be honest, you almost wonder if some people were just excited in person just because. Look, wrestling gets you hyped. I'm a wrestling buff, and I'm not going to pretend that I am, right? I'm not a liar. My pants aren't on fire. As I always say, liars get the pliers. I clearly don't have any pliers. But when I did cover a wrestling match with a friend and friend of the program, Alex Parr, over from the Game Sports Show. So when you're done watching this show, obviously wait till we're off the air, because we're just as good, a little bit better. I'm just kidding, Alex. But when we covered a wrestling match together, and I didn't know what to expect, but when you're there, the music's going, everything's pumping, so you almost just are cheering with everything that's going on. And I see that. Once people go home, they're like, wait, what did I actually just cheer for at the end? This is a little odd. And then to make matters worse, let's say the court case, when it does finish, and hypothetically it goes a certain direction. We won't say the directions. Well, let's just say it goes direction A versus direction B. Now, how does WWE approach that situation? So
I agree.
It's an odd situation overall. And I do want to quickly say, if you're enjoying this conversation, I want to hear more conversations like this. You see Sports Talk with Lane on your screen right now in nice big letters. Lane is launching his own show, Sports Talk of Lane. Don't worry, he's not leaving the island. We have discovered a wrestling ring on the island. So Lane's going to be using that along with his own channel in the Streakers app. So for you wrestling buffs, make sure you're following Lane on his channel. Make sure you're following him on all his social medias, as we're working on getting all those created. But right now, picture this as the preview. It's the calm before the storm right here. If anyone remembers that Eminem freestyle from like, oh my gosh, like 10 years ago. I'm getting old, guys.
Yeah.
But again, if you are enjoying these conversations and you want to see more of the most dashing man on the island, then obviously make sure you give him a big old follow over on Facebook. But I wonder though, like for Dan, I don't believe you've ever been to a wrestling match, but
like maybe like a high school wrestling thing.
But you could almost picture it's like cheering for a really big hit, and then you realize the player's not getting up in hockey, and it's kind of like, oh boy.
Oh, I totally get
it's almost like that instant regret right after the cheer. We've all been there, right? How many times have we been at a football game or a hockey game or gosh, I was covering a lacrosse game 2 years ago, and we're all like, oh my gosh, what a hit, and then we're all like, oh my gosh, he's not getting up.
No, we've all been there,
the gentleman
right?
Turned out to be okay, but like it's almost that instantaneous of like, oh my gosh, and then oh no. And I almost wonder if, I don't mean like the Kool-Aid man is going to jump through the wall, but I do wonder if this is going to go in that direction where people are feeling one way live, but then when they go home tonight and, you know, they do whatever they do, as they're brushing their teeth or combing their hair. I guess you don't comb your hair before you go to bed. Craig might, but
I don't have any comb.
But then you wonder, will that be the time when these fans are almost regretting the cheering? If that, I don't know if you guys think I'm just rambling or you guys get what I'm saying.
Well, I think there's two sides of everything. Like what Lane taught me, I'm learning wrestling now. To be honest, I'm with Jacob. I don't know anything about it. So we're learning about it as we go. Lane's doing an excellent job. So hopefully he's teaching everyone on the island watching too. Lane always says there's kind of like a good guy and a bad guy in every match. I guess we knew in this one who was the good guy, who was the bad guy, right? John Cena's a legend. And this guy is very controversial for multiple reasons. Now, Lane, I know you said it was pretty epic how John Cena dominated so much this match and really pulled his old moves out of the books we haven't seen in 3 or 4 years. Do you think maybe he went so hard on him because of who the competitor was in the match? Or do you think he would have went this hard regardless who he was facing?
Well, I want to make it clear he didn't wrestle Brock Lesnar. The guy he was wrestling is Cody Rhodes, who is a company guy. Cody Rhodes is fantastic. He's been in the WWE for many years. He's a great guy. He's John Cena 2.0. So I want to make this clear. He wasn't wrestling Brock Lesnar. Brock Lesnar just showed up.
Right.
So it was John Cena versus Cody Rhodes. There's nothing wrong with those two guys. Those two guys are full on time, full performers. You know, Cody Rhodes has been in the WWE now for many years after even leaving to go start his own promotion and then coming back to the WWE. And he's been a hometown kid ever since, with his dad passing away in Dusty Rhodes. I don't know if anyone knows that name, but he's been a phenomenal guy for the company. He's been the forefront of the company, the guy that's, you know, signing the autographs for the kids and, you know, making sure he's even invited fans that, you know, are so broke to go. He's literally paid for them to go to the front row. He's had kids. He's taken people from homeless shelters and brought them in and gotten them food. So Cody Rhodes is a stand-up guy.
I understand what you're saying. That it wasn't him directly he was facing. That's awesome what Cody Rhodes does. I didn't know that.
He's amazing. He's
that's really cool. But I guess I didn't word my question properly. I just mean the status of him being in the room and the momentum. You know, you see it in every sports rivalry. Let's say we go back to the year 2004, and it's Vancouver versus Colorado, and Todd Bertuzzi shows up in the press box in Colorado. Okay, he's not physically on the ice, but if you're like an enforcer from Colorado, you might step up an extra notch against Vancouver because Todd Bertuzzi's there in presence, right? As we all know what he did to Steve Moore against that game in Colorado. So do you think, even though he wasn't physically wrestling Lester, do you think it just kind of made him more amp and more pump to do everything that he did tonight?
Yeah, I just want to say Streakers Gaming's chiming in the chat saying can't wait for your new show at Sports Talk with Lane. So, and then Lane,
just looking at the channel right now because we were testing over overnight. Lane was doing some his experience and what he's seeing. So, Lane, it looks like you're 4-0. It doesn't look like the results in for the John Cena Cody Rhodes, but I was horrendous at 1-3. You're on the leaderboard at 4-0.
Well, last night
last match. So.
It's okay because last night I was 0-4. I was way off them. Apparently, I don't know what I was watching last night, but
and Chazzy, let's hope you improve at this like you have at
Let's hope my wrestling skill. You know what?
Island favorite game show.
Let's hope they're as sharp as last night's CFL with the Ticats and the Green Riders.
So, Lane, you've been throwing some tweets here in the chat, so I put one up on the screen. Do you want to read and kind of explain it?
Yeah, I'm just reading some. I just wanted to go on X and just see what the fans are saying. Like, like a fan as myself, I just want to know how the fans are feeling here. And we've got a fan here from X on North and South Spotted. And even he says Brock Lesnar does not think for me is not entertaining. I don't know if he's not entertaining, but I can definitely understand where this kind of this. And then here's the next one from Mr. TJ saying WWE has done some tone-deaf things lately. Bringing back Brock Lesnar might be the tone-deaf thing they've ever done. Oof, and I am starting to see a lot of these sort of comments here. People just being like, come on, but there's also some people who are happy.
So well, that's the thing. It's two sides. Like, technically, you're not guilty until you're proven guilty, right? So maybe fans of Lesnar, for example, are happy that he's back. I don't know.
It's an interesting.
Is he going to wrestle or is he just back?
He's back.
Yeah, did he actually wrestle, Lane?
Or will he wrestle?
Yeah, he's going to wrestle. So basically what he did was he came out with his entrance, came out with his little outfit, came in the ring, and then he beat up John Cena. So basically they're telling you the next match between John Cena is Brock Lesnar and John Cena. And John Cena had a really good storyline with Brock Lesnar about, I want to say maybe 5-6 years ago, where they really dove into this John Cena sort of so it was interesting that one of the very big moments in John Cena's career was I want to say it was WrestleMania 26. Someone might correct me. It was in New York, and he just lost to The Rock. And the next day, Brock Lesnar came back from the UFC after being gone for so many years, and they had a huge program. So John Cena and Brock Lesnar have a deep history together of being involved in big time matches and being involved in a big marquee match of being facing each other. So maybe they're just trying to tie up some loose ends here, knowing that John Cena's putting up the greatest hits here. Maybe this is them trying to get the Brock Lesnar John Cena feud to kind of get an ending. But I don't think they're just bringing Brock Lesnar back for one thing. If you're bringing Brock Lesnar back, you're bringing him back because he's going to get the names, because he's going to get the tweets, because people are going to watch. Whether you like him or not, I can't stress this enough. Whether you like the guy or not, he brings name value. When you bring Brock Lesnar, you get views, you get clicks, you get social media, you get ticket sales. This is going to generate money for the WWE, whether you hate him, whether you love him, whether you agree with what is it. This will generate money.
Right, of course. That's the number one concern at the end of the day, right? So.
But at the end of the day, it's an interesting situation. I do wonder if it just puts a little bit of a damper on an overall
could backfire, right?
The way Lane, wow, that is a tongue twister. The way Lane explained it, and for hearing it from a true WWE fan, man, Lane absolutely loves wrestling. I mean, when I gave him his wrestling extra the other day, oh man, he had to go to the washroom right away. But you kind of want to see does this put a damper on a really cool overall night?
Mm-hmm.
I think so.
Maybe not just the night. Does it actually put the damper on the whole event, the 2 days? Because are you going to be remembering the really big moments, or are you going to be remembering this controversial situation?
Yeah, I'm just going through Twitter here, and then it's just not good. It's just a lot of negative people. I'm not seeing anything about how good that match is. I don't know. I think this is the wrong night.
Yeah, it sounds like it.
Just as a reminder for anyone in the comments, we always love comments, but as a reminder, no bad language, slur, any inappropriate comments will be tolerated during the stream. Keep it respectful or you will be removed. Let's keep the chat a fun, safe space for everyone. Did just want to quickly throw that in there.
What, someone say something bad?
Can we go to the room next door? And with Sean Lennon's return, 6 points. Green Runners dominated. Any comments?
Oh, it wasn't even close.
Yeah.
Was that an effect in the locker? Like, I know you guys said, I think Morpho was saying could divide the locker room. Does there any effect? What are you guys thinking there?
It's kind of a dumb, interesting coincidence.
Go ahead, Dan.
Well, it's an interesting coincidence, right? I thought Montreal was a really good team. Well, I shouldn't say that. Montreal is a very good team. I thought they would come out very, very well. I thought it was going to be a very close game, and it was not close at all. It was by far the worst game of Montreal had all year. And it's like you said, Chazzy, it's a great point. You got to stop there and wonder, is it because of Sean Lemon and could be dividing up the dressing room, could be dividing up the team, kind of like Nathan Rourke and VA of last year in BC? Or is it just completely random that the game of Sean Lemon came back, the team fell apart? That's the $1 million question. I guess we may not know until after the year is over and people start talking about it. But right now, you got to ask yourself, that's a crazy question.
Okay, I'm more thinking it's because of sorry, Dan, I didn't mean to just keep you on the screen as I'm talking.
I thought you wanted to tease his channel more for his esports channel with the racing in the background.
That's right. Yep. That's right. It's coming.
Yes, and we'll have an esports channel coming soon to a theater near you or Streakers app.
You see the cars going in the background there.
But what I was saying for Montreal, and then Lane, we'll jump back into some of these tweets. But for the Montreal Alouettes, I think it was more of an issue of Davis Alexander's not playing, Austin Mack's not playing. You're going against probably the best defense in the CFL.
Those are factors as well, for sure.
But at the same time, that's no excuse to be blown out the way you were blown out because your defense looked terrible. And that's where you wonder, because I found that defensive line, the blitzing wasn't working the way it usually does.
The timing was off.
Which is odd for Montreal, right? So you do wonder, is that bringing Sean Lemon into the mix? From what we've been hearing, the players wanted him back. But just because that's what the vocal players have been saying, you might have someone like Chazzy on the team. He doesn't talk much. He sits there. He thinks. He's always, It's like that emoji. So maybe there are some players in the background who aren't agreeing with the situation. But let's head back over to the land of X. And Lane he's been on the move with his Twitter fingers. So Lane, you can go ahead and kind of go over some of these tweets.
Yeah, these are just some people. I'm just trying to see, I'm just trying to gauge this. And there's actually an interesting thing I want to get into here. But replying to Mr. Zanti's app, Pokemon Trainer Platinum here says, what was up with Brock Lesnar returning? Okay, yes, he's named in the lawsuit. That I know, but why they still decided to bring him back just because confuses the HE double hockey sticks out of me. Cage Dalton here replied on X saying, thank you, sports entertainment gods. Brock Lesnar is home back with WWE. He's always be a big box office attraction. They made the right decision to call Brock Lesnar back.
Oh, interesting.
So we are starting to see.
What's the TKO, the WWE and the TKO reference?
TKO is the company that now owns WWE. TKO is called.
Oh, they have the UFC as well.
Yes, they are. They own. They are in a parent company now. So the UFC is basically the WWE now.
Yeah,
they're on the same sort of platform. And then this is the one I want to get into here is Triple H on the post show today, basically stating that John Cena essentially wanted Brock Lesnar back. One of the first things I said to Cena is, who do you want and how? We're working through that.
Oh, interesting. So my point was completely off.
What's quickly saying here, though, do not go on steamboo.com. That link is fake. Don't you do it. Don't you dare. Steamboo, more like Thor Ragnarok. Anyone who watches Call Me Kevin will get that reference. Anyone who doesn't, they'll just think I'm on something. But Lane, continue.
Yeah, and I just wanted to show this comment because I do think we should try to show the pause. Got to have both sides of the story. But someone says here, this is not me, by the way. This is someone on X's. Not my comment. This is Ray619 the GOAT. This is not my comment. But I get the PWC are firmly against Brock Lesnar returning. To see people out here attacking Janelle Grant, excusing Vince McMahon and claiming he did nothing wrong is psychotic. Brock could be found innocent but using his return to attack another person is disgusting enough. And I do agree with that. No matter how you feel, again, how you feel about this situation, please let's be positive. Don't go attacking people on Twitter. Don't go attacking, people involved in scandal situations.
Well, everyone's keyboard warriors, right?
Yeah, at the end of the day, our business is not their business. Janelle Grant, whatever she has said, that's the name of the plaintiff, whatever she has said is her business. There's no reason for any of us to get involved in her story and to go starting her ass. I do agree with this comment. Please, however you feel about this is not a reason to go attack certain people that have nothing to do with it or someone who's been involved. We don't know the full story. And until you know the full story, until something gets decided, please do your best to stay out of it as much best you can.
Honestly, just mind your business. Just mind your business, and people are entitled to have opinions, and if you disagree with them or agree with them, that's the beauty of a democratic world. We can have different opinions, but an opinion that I think we'll all have is that the Toronto Blue Jays let one slip away today. I do want to quickly get into that before we wrap things up for the night, because we still have a pre-recorded show we have to do today, folks. We do not sleep, especially Chazzy sends me voice notes at 6:47 in the morning. But Mr. Morpho and I were at the Jays game today, and I was visibly and verbally pissed. I felt this is a game that they should have won. They easily could have won. And we're going right back to what I said months ago, that Schneider is an idiot. Yes, we're winning the division. That's fine and dandy. Hoffman should have pitched the 9th inning.
You mean the 10th?
And the 10th inning.
Yeah.
He pitched the 9th.
I totally agree with you, Jacob.
Got out of there in like 9 pitches or less. And then the 10th inning just was a complete disaster. Or maybe at least go to a guy that's been with the team longer. Right? Go to one of your bullpen guys that you trust more.
I honestly,
no disrespect to any of these newer players. No, Dan, they went to, like, why not go to Rodriguez in that situation?
Oh, I agree. I honestly feel bad
going to a brand new player who's not used to the catcher. He's not used to your systems. He's not used to your strategies. And now you're putting them in a really tight spot. In my opinion, you're setting them up to fail. So I would have liked to seen, if anything, maybe just, if you don't want Hoffman to go in, and I don't know if this is considered taboo, it's just something I did in my old baseball video games. If I really feel it, I maybe am throwing in a starter that I haven't used and that I'm not using for another week, just to see if they can get me out of this. Because when you go in overtime, you don't know, or extra innings, you don't know how long that's gonna go. And the Jays offensively actually did manage to put up a couple runs in their end of the 10th. But between, I think, some bad coaching decisions and some really bad base running in the 2nd inning, you only had maybe 2 really god-awful innings in this game. But those 2 god-awful innings kind of cost you the series. Well, and I have the Red Sox, who I believe are 3.5 games behind you right now, because the Red Sox won again. So you're in a tough spot right now, and I really don't like the idea of the Jays not winning the division. I really don't. I feel this division was theirs to lose, and well, by golly, they're trying to find a way to lose it. I'm not saying that the rest of August is going to be this bad. I understand it's early August, but what does everyone always say about baseball? When do the games matter? August and September. Where are we? August. How have they been playing in August?
So far, not well.
1-1.
Okay, well, end of July, early August.
Like,
I'm looking at the last 2 series, and I'm not happy.
Do you think these guys coming back healthy?
I don't know if Kirk is healthy, to be honest. Kirk does not look right to me. I'm no doctor or a meteorologist, because I thought it was going to rain, and then it was beautiful all day at the ballpark. But Kirk, if you go to the 10th inning where he tries to throw the guy out at third, you would think it was Mr. Alford from the Calgary Stampeders playing third base, because the ball was 7.5 feet in the air. Like, it was just an absolute terrible throw. And I'm sorry, but you look, that was one of the errors that cost the Jays the game today. He also wasn't good at the plate, which is odd for Kirk to not at least be making a lot of contact. And it wasn't hitting the ball well. I didn't feel he was reading pitches well. It could be rust of being injured and getting back in the swing of it. Or it could be with Heineman getting hurt. They didn't want to call up a AAA catcher, which I don't understand why not. And to me, you have backup players for a reason. Use them. And it's kind of, I just hope this isn't like a Davis Alexander situation where they're going to push Kirk a little too hard. He's going to digress, or Zach Collaros, and all of a sudden Kirk's out long-term through August. I'm not saying that is happening. I have absolutely no idea. I'm not in their dressing room. I wish I was. Well, not right now. It'd be pretty dark. But like, I'm not hitting the panic button yet if I'm a Jays fan, which I am. But I'm hovering over the button right now. In Leafland, if this was happening, they'd all be burning down the ACC. I've noticed Jays fans are either calmer or more casual. And that is the next thing I've wondered. And Dan and I spoke about this on the train with a good friend of the show, Adam. Won't say his last name. He doesn't like that.
Adam and Adam.
It's actually two Adams. We spoke to two Adams today. It was amazing.
That the Adam you from the?
We had on the show. But I am wondering.
Messaging him on Instagram.
Will you see Jays fans, if this team continues to struggle, is the attendance going to continue to be high? Because I find with the Jays, when they're bad, nobody goes. Like, we were at a game last year, and there were more fans at the Argo game the day before. And nothing against my Argos, but they're not known for getting good attendance over the last 20 years.
Yeah.
So that is my concern. If the Jays, I don't know, you guys, Chazzy, you're looking at me like you think I'm an idiot.
As long as they got a shot, this Blue Jays fan base will come out and support them.
So you're saying if they lose another 10 straight, fans will still be there? Like, in all seriousness.
No, I think so. As long as you got, like, close to, it's August. They're not going to stop until.
I don't know. Dan and I went to a game this time last year when they were bad and no one was there. Like, you couldn't.
Because the year was over at that point.
There was literally someone peeing in the 500s. That's how bad the attendance was. Whatever you.
We're not making that up, unfortunately.
You're not making that up. It was very.
Wait,
scary.
what?
Sticky event.
They were peeing in the 500s. They didn't want to go down the
wall. It was sold out this weekend. More for.
What?
It was sold out all 3 games this weekend.
Yes, it was. Yeah, the sellouts all 3 games
left early today. As soon as
all
the Jays
3 games had over 41,000 people.
Okay, but as soon as they're getting blown out in the 10th, I swear at least 5,000 people left.
Because they choo-choo trains.
Oh, cry me a river. That's not a real river. If you're a true sports fan, you literally have to walk home because you want to see the end of it.
I get
when it's overtime or extra innings or whatever. I worry the Jays fans are more of a casual fan base than a hardcore fan base. That's not me criticizing. There are a lot of passionate Jays fans, but I do feel baseball has, I'm going to say it, baseball has more casual fans than I think any other sport does. You see a lot of people that go to the game and don't even watch it. They're just there taking selfies, drinking their $15 beers. Fine. I'm the king of controversy. I am the worst thing since Elvis Presley, as Eminem likes to say, back in like 2001. But I don't know. That's honestly my thoughts on this and my concern, because you just finally got people back into this ballpark. It had been buzzing. If you say, are the Jays attendance gas or ass, right now they're gas. It is. Everyone seems to want to be there. Yeah. I just worry if this team becomes not very good, do they become like look at Toronto FC is another prime example of that. When they were good, man, did people really want to be there. But when they were bad, like now, I can get an FC ticket like 5 minutes before whatever the start of it's called.
A match.
And I you can see I'm not a soccer fan. And I can get tickets. Sometimes it's harder to get a ticket for Hamilton Forge than it is for Toronto FC.
You can get Blue Jay tickets, but if you look at like a StubHub, for example, the $25 tickets are selling for $60, $80 right now. Like, it is getting harder to get from. You get a ticket behind home plate in the TD box, you're looking at over $1,000 for a seat. Like, it's a very high demand. It's buzzing. I'm not hitting the panic button because they won yesterday. When they lost the other game, every team's going to have a bad game every so often. But when they lost this game, they lost a couple games before on this streak, the team didn't give up. They had a little push in the end, and that's what you want to see out of good teams, right? At this point with this game, it's frustrating because I feel like we should have had it. I feel like if there wasn't bad base running in the second, you would have not made into overtime extra innings. And in the extra innings, it didn't make any sense putting Dominguez in there, in my opinion. I think he's a good guy. He's been in a really tough situation being traded in the middle of a doubleheader. He's handled it with top A class. And I think you're putting him in a bad situation when you have a much ever pitcher. Like, for example, Rodriguez was warming up in the bullpen, and for whatever reason, they didn't call him in. And I really think Hoffman, like we said, Hoffman only got like 9 pitches for Ellie Knife. Why not just finish with Hoffman and call it a day? It just did not make any sense. I think it's poor decisions from John Schneider at this point. I'm not hitting a panic button, but I'm raising my eyebrow at this.
This one stings like that White Sox loss.
Yes, exactly.
I just want to say, I've never
to kind of my point here, Dan. You were saying originally behind home plate's $1,000. Well, for their next game, this is a Tuesday, mind you, but I can get that seat for $280 for their next home game.
No, not behind home plate. I mean, like the fancy seats, like the box behind home plate, like the TD.
$200.
No, you're not. Look, you're not at the right place, Jacob. I mean, right down at home plate. Go down, sort out the thing from highest to lowest.
Okay.
Yeah, there you go.
Price. Cheapest is 96.
Highest.
Okay, Dan, calm down. We're going to get there. I just have to scratch my face.
See, the Jays only play the Red Sox one more time at the end of the year.
Yeah,
Thankfully.
it's crazy.
Oh, you can sort it by his price, not the highest. It just defaults to lowest. So give me a second here.
Yeah.
But the
other day I looked, it was over $1,000.
I see one there, 837.
Yeah.
Yeah, but that's just a terrible price for that. From what I can see, that's the most expensive ticket right now.
We're also looking forward to game 2 weeks.
Did you guys see Durant's entrance today in the Phillies game?
Yeah.
See, it's 3,500.
More for. Did you see Durant's entrance to the game? He came out to the Undertaker.
That's cool.
The lights went out and it like lit up on neon, and the Undertaker came out, and they're gonna love this guy in Philly.
So the most expensive seat for that game on Tuesday is $915 Canadian, including all fees.
Wow.
Don't get me wrong, it is expensive.
What, against the Cubby Bears?
Against the Cubs, and that is on a Tuesday. So it seems like, at least for now, and obviously I'm not saying it's going to hurt ticket sales right this second. I do wonder, though, if maybe, we look down the road and, oh, Dan, they play on your birthday. Maybe we got to do an island birthday extravaganza. But I just worry down the road. And right now, all these tickets are selling fast besides of the Tuesday game. I guess people don't like to go on a Tuesday at 7 o'clock.
Because everyone's in the club on a Tuesday.
But I do just wonder if
this
to digress. Because let's be honest, I understand you guys always think I'm too negative towards this team, but this team hasn't done anything when the games count in the last 5 to 6 years.
I think the games are going to keep selling for now. Let's say we go into the end of September and we're not in the playoff spot, then yeah, no one's going to go. But I think until overtime we're in a playoff spot, we're going to keep selling.
You basically just regurgitate the same thing Craig said, you copycat.
Well, it was a good point.
So now the Jays come up against the Rockies. I'm going to say this. I actually think it's a good thing the Jays are on a mini road trip right now.
Oh, for sure.
Because they're not playing well. They did not play well with this mini homestand. So maybe they need to get away from, not work from dome, as they like to say. And, let's be honest, go face a team that's not good. Not saying that the Royals are a great team, but the Rockies are 30-81. If you lose this series, then I actually am hitting the panic button for a Jays fan.
Yeah, for sure.
I don't know if you boys agree with me or not, but if they lose this series against a team that recently just lost to the Padres, who are 48-64, 9-5, I would legitimately be worried because this Rockies team is not good.
If you lose all 3 games this series against the Rockies and Boston wins all 3, their next series, then you're tied for the division. So, yeah, that's kind of a concern.
Well, the Rockies just their bats are warm against the Pirates 17-16, 8-5. They just beat the Pirates 9-5. So the Jays, that offense has got to get going here. And
or
what,
your bullpen's got to start.
Or sweep. Win or
Either that or your
sweep going
bullpen's
into
just got to
LA.
start pitching better.
Yeah,
Because I find we're getting, at least today, the starter did a good job in Bassett. He had one so-so inning.
Great job. And
But
Max
besides that,
Scherzer did great on Saturday, Chazzy's guy.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And now you're going to LA for 3. You may split. Well, I guess I don't know. You get 1 in LA, you're happy. 2, you can't get swept.
Well, now you're looking. The Red Sox play the Royals next in Boston, and then they play the Padres next.
But that
So
Royals team is tricky.
Okay,
Yeah.
Let's just be honest here. The way the Red Sox are playing, they probably win both of those series. The Jays could be out of the division lead before the end of next
or tie
before Dan's birthday.
No, I don't think they actually could be. Yeah.
And this is why you guys kept saying, "Oh, Jacob, you shouldn't be that concerned yet. Every team has a slump." I'm like, but if your slumps are so big, they wipe out your ups, then it doesn't. Like, let's say you go on a 10-game winning streak and then you lose 5 straight, but then you right the ship. To be honest, it's kind of okay. But if you go on a 10-game losing streak and then go on an 8-game losing streak before you right the ship, or worse, now all of a sudden that winning streak almost didn't even happen.
I hear we could be there, but we're not there yet.
I think we are. I think we are there now, where it's getting to the point where that red hot winning streak is almost starting to mean nothing. Because Dan, I get you guys think I'm crazy. Okay, you lost 7-4 today. You won 4-2 the other day. Yippee. Then you lose 9-3. Then you won 9-8. Then you lost 3-2. Then you lost 16-4. Then you lost 11-4. Then you lost 10-4. So the games you're losing really bad. Okay, yeah, you did have a really good series against the Tigers. But you're getting to the point now at 1 loss, 2 loss, 3 loss, 4 loss, 5 losses. That's 5 of your last
7.
8 you've lost.
Yeah.
5 of your last 7, yeah.
5 of your last 7.
Right.
Sorry. So all of a sudden, that other winning streak's not looking so hot anymore because you've just lost 5 of your last 7. And no one cares in sports what you did last week. It's what you're doing now.
Mm-hmm.
Because the Jays are in a tough division.
Rangers.
Sorry, Chassis?
For the Rockies, you got the Dodgers. Cubbies are good. Rangers are over 500.
So I mean, you have good teams coming up. I almost think you got to sweep the Rockies.
Yeah, that's what I said. Yeah.
Yeah,
you got to sweep. No, I'm actually, Chassis, you and I are in agreement, not just because you're the CEO, but because the analyst likes the way you're analyzing, good sir. And I think the Jays need to sweep the Rockies right now.
Yeah.
Over your next 3 games, you got to win all 3 because there's a good chance you lose that series to the Dodgers, or at least your best case scenario is you probably win 2 out of 3. Now, the only weird thing is I've noticed the Jays don't show up against bad teams. So could you see them getting smoked by the Rockies and then beating the Dodgers and the Cubs?
No, exactly.
Yeah, I can see
You got to
that.
look. They couldn't beat the White Sox, then they sweep the Yankees.
Yeah, I can
So
see it.
they're kind of like the Leafs in that sense. They seem to really don't play up to their opponents, which is frustrating as all hell as a sports fan, because you look at that and you feel this is the reason why this team's not winning their division. I know they are winning it right now. Because right now, your bigger concern is you won the season series against the Yankees. I don't know about the season series against the Red Sox.
Well, we'll find out in September.
And the Red Sox are playing at a really high level of baseball.
They are, yeah.
So I'm mildly concerned.
I get that.
Time will tell, obviously. But I sense, though, Lane and Dan are not at the point I'm at right now.
I'm starting to
getting
see
there.
a point, but not at the same point.
I think the Jays are 6-3 against the Red Sox this year.
Okay, so then that way, so let's say if you're saying they're 6-3, they have one more series against them.
Quick glance.
They have one more series against them, which I'm looking for.
Or pardon me, 7-3.
There's okay, so
They had a
that
4-game
is a bright side if they're 7-3. That means even if the Red Sox sweep the Jays, the Red Sox would not win the season series.
Okay,
These season
that's
series
right,
could
yes.
become really important between the Jays and the Red Sox.
Oh, for sure.
So if Chazzy's math is right, which that's a 50-50 shot. He's not Mr. Calculator the way Dan is. But
no, Chazzy's pretty good. I have faith in Chazzy.
I'm glad you have faith in Chazzy. I have faith in Lane.
Me?
You. So Lane, I feel like you're in between Dan and I, like marshmallow on a whatever those cookie things are called.
S'mores. S'more?
You're like the marshmallow to my s'more, because you seem to think you're not as panicked as I am, but I think you're a little more concerned than Dan. Am I assessing that correctly?
I'm getting to the point where I'm getting kind of frustrated because, like I said, I understand teams go through ups and downs. I understand a season's a roller coaster. But at some point, it's like, you look at the deadline, you didn't get, now some people argue maybe it's best not to get everybody, but maybe you didn't get everything that you needed, and now you're losing a lot, right? And you want to keep upping ticket prices and saying, we'll pay $40, we'll pay $50. Yeah, but now you're losing. So, only going to charge if you're going to put those results in,
Never mind ticket prices. Man, I bought a hot dog, which was disgusting, by the way.
I bought them outside.
No, I literally thought I was going to have to leave the game early. That's how bad it was until Dan, the savior of the day, bought me a slice of pizza, so I did feel like I was going to die. But a hot dog and
with my $15
because I bought Dan a pop and I bought myself a pop and a hot dog was around $33.
Oh,
this is why I'm going to get to the point. Do people want to spend? Let's say right now, crappy seats on StubHub are $100. So I'm going to take me, Lane, because I got to wine and dine Lane. Lane doesn't just need to wine and dine me. I need to wine and dine him. And I got to take, I don't know, I'll take the rest of the island. To do that will cost me, honestly, at least $500, if not more, because, we got to get there too.
I got to pay for my train?
Yeah, that's the thing though. If you look at a family of four. No, you look at a family of four or like four buddies trying to go to a game. You will drop $500 right now. That's a lot of money to watch a bad team.
Yeah,
and people say, well, just don't eat there or don't drink there. Well, okay, but that's easier said than done when you got a whiny 12-year-old. I want a juice box
or a bag of peanuts.
Or I want a bag of. Oh my gosh, a bag of peanuts was like $13.
Now the one good thing about the
Rogers Center, you got to pay for Vladdy's content.
But I didn't know you're actually allowed to bring in your own food as long as it's sealed. You could bring some ham sandwiches.
True.
But and if you ever buy pop there, you got to get the free refillable pop.
That's the one you got to get. But even the free
I didn't know that.
But Lane, okay, let's even say now, okay, hypothetically, you don't buy food. You buy 4 pops because your drink's not going to stay cold on your hour train ride. So you're going to need a drink. You buy 4 pops, 4 train tickets, 4 crappy tickets. I'm still at around $500.
And a souvenir.
Question: if you
don't need a souvenir. Screw the souvenir.
The old kid does.
No, the kid, little Timmy doesn't need a Blue Jay baseball bat. I'll get him one at Value Village and put a J sticker on it.
Timmy and the Go Train had one.
Good for Timmy and the Go Train.
If you get the endless pop, is it cut off like with the alcohol around the 8th inning?
Yes, which is another problem I had. So I look at if I pay for one, I should be able to get a refill on my way out. I should. I paid $11 for this damn iced tea. At least they can give me as another refill on my way out.
Refill for the train.
Like seriously though, because you put it where you can't drive to this stupid stadium because the parking's. Oh my gosh! Now if you're gonna drive, you got to spend $50 damn to park your car. That's probably going to get broken into. So what I'm just getting at is if this team starts to, I'm just going to say, if they start to suck, and lately they suck, they're bad. They're bad at baseball. I'm not good at baseball either. Clearly, look at me. I'm not good at playing sports, but I'm good at talking about it. And if it's bad and it costs a family of 4 at minimum $500, that's insane. Where I can go to an Argo game and I get people who say, Jacob, CFL, MLB, they're different leagues. I don't care. I can go to an Argo game and get really crappy seats by the end zone for like $30. And I can buy a $3 hot dog and refill my water bottle there. Same as you can, because you're saying you don't need, now mind you, you can't bring in the food, but fine, I'll still do that, and I'll be like 4 tickets, transportation, and food. Maybe I'm only like $200. Watch, all of a sudden, that's $300 cheaper. So I can go to 2.5 Argo games for the price of 1 Jays game. And that's where this becomes a problem because there's so much to do in Toronto. And if it becomes expensive and bad, not that the Argos are good this year, and that could be why attendance is a little lower than last year. They raised the tickets and the team's terrible.
Yeah.
So I'm just saying the Jays better smarten up, or else Vladdy's going to have to start washing windows to get his $500 million. Because I'll just say this too, he's not playing like a $500 million player. He was not very good again today offensively. Yes, he's good defensively, Dan. I get that, but I can get a really good defensive first baseman for a lot cheaper than what you're paying Vladdy.
Yeah, but I see them 300 batting average.
I could see them letting Bo walk.
If they I'm going to say this: if they don't either win the division or win a playoff round, Bo Bichette will not come back.
Yeah,
because you have to make changes then, and you already pay. It's kind of like the Marner situation. Lane, don't go burning your jersey when I bring up Marner. I know that's a hard conversation to have, but it's like that Marner situation where I don't know if Marner was necessarily the problem. He was the one that didn't have a contract. I don't know if Bo Bichette is necessarily the problem, but he doesn't have a contract.
I think the Leaf fans made Marner the problem.
I don't agree with you there personally. I think you're a grown. I think you're an addict to your damn job.
I wouldn't compare Bo Bichette situation to the Marner situation.
I would compare Bo Bichette to the Marner situation. Chazzy, would you not? So Chazzy, according to you.
I'm saying Bo.
No, Chazzy, I'm asking you.
Look at the bats in the lineup.
Chazzy, I'm asking you then. Are you not saying Bo Bichette is one of your best players on the Jays?
If you're going to sign him for three.
Is he one of your best? Is he a top 3 player on this team? Is he a top 3?
He's one of the leaders. Yes, he is.
What has he done to get them anywhere in the playoffs? No, I'm asking you. They made it once and they got the doors blown off them. So what? So what has he done?
The one game.
So what I'm getting at is, it is like the Marner situation because the Jays have been constantly underperforming. Yes, they have, Chazzy. You can't tell me last year a well below 500 record when the over-under on them going into that year was 7 games over 500 was not underperforming.
Well, Bo was hurt last year.
I don't care. The team, okay, fine, 2 years ago. Bo's hurt every year. He stubs his toe and he's out 2 weeks. Meanwhile, Vladdy Guerrero Jr. takes a 100-mile fastball to the hand, and he's just putting on a big brace, and he's out there swinging anyways. I'm sorry, but there's a difference between the two. What up, Lane? Or whatever your glasses say that I can't read because you're just looking like you drank watered milk.
Well, I just want to address someone in the video here. I want to talk to Mr. Who's this? Chazzy 7.63, whatever decimal number. You listen up here and you listen good because the Streakers Island champion is here because he heard that you said that Mitch Marner was that we made him the bad guy. Oh, I want to tell you something, brother. He made himself the bad guy when he choked every time because he couldn't perform good enough to win this because he was never a champion. And you know what I am? I am a certified champion. I am a certified stud. I am the most dashing person on here. And you better watch those decimals because when you're done with me, you're going to go back to 2.0 and some negative number that the decimal can't read because I am dashingly dashing and I am the champion. And you better put respect on the Toronto Maple Leafs. And Mitch Marner, go play in Vegas where you will never win this, baby.
Wow.
Lane is...
Mic drop.
Don't drop your mic. It's bad for it.
That's how he talked to a non-Leaf fan in the room.
Dan's holding it.
Wow. And on that bombshell.
No, but I just kind of want to quickly finish kind of what I'm saying. So the Bo Bichette has been a Blue Jay since 2019. And let's look at the 2019 records. And I understand you can't really put it on Bo Bichette when he's a rookie. But remember the teams before Bo Bichette when they did go on playoff runs. Right? When they did make it to the conference final and then they got the doors blown off them. And then they were really bad for a couple years when they blew up the team for no apparent reason. But then you get Bichette in 2019, the team's bad. 2020, you make the playoffs, you lose in the wild card, you don't win a game. But you're like, hey, you know what? Already we made the playoffs. The next year, funny enough, you actually have a better season, winning percentage-wise, but you don't make the playoffs because it's the AL East. So fine. Then the next year, hey, we're going to make the playoffs again. We're going to get the wild card. But you know what? We're not going to win a single damn game. Then, oh, look, we're back again, hovering around that 549 win percentage. What are we going to do in the playoffs? We're not going to win a single game. Then you go to the next year. Attendance, by the way, from when they were making the playoffs consistently, they were at getting 3.392 million people in a season. Then they're down to 2.6. Then they did jump back up to 3.021 million people. Then the year they were really bad last year again, it was 2.681 million people during the entire season. And guess what happens? They don't make the playoffs. They're 20 games behind the division lead. This team's 2 packs of butthole. They're bad. Now this year, everyone's going on about this team. Their winning percentage is .580, which, funny enough, it's the best it's ever been since actually it was better than that 2015 team that went all the way to the conference finals. That was legendary. They had a .574. So on paper, they were better. But now again, if you screw it up again and you either don't win the division or never mind win the wild card series, if you don't even win a damn game, you can't get rid of Vladdy Guerrero Jr. No one else wants to pay that guy $500 million. It's hard to move a $500 million contract. He might even have a no move. I don't know off the top of my head. But then Bo Bichette would be the one that's leaving. Because you can't keep telling me that losing in the wild card or not making the playoffs is good enough. With a team that has Max Scherzer, a team that has Kevin Gausman, a team that has Jeff Hoffman, a team that has Bo Bichette, a team that has George Springer, a team that has Vladdy Guerrero Jr., a team that has Alejandro Kirk. This team has good players. And in a year where the Yankees have forgotten that they hit the ball out of the park going forward, not behind them for a foul. So this is your year to do it, and you're about to crap the bed. The Yankees were terrible for a while. All this team had to do is basically play .500 baseball. And at the moment, they can't do it. That's all I got to say on that.
It's interesting you mentioning the attendance. I'm going to date myself here. In '89, I remember Dwayne Stewart and Tom Hankey coming in. But I think it was the second last game of the season. They clinched, but they are celebrating 4 million fans in a year for home games. And you were just mentioning in some of their peak seasons here in the 2020s, you're still around, what, low threes?
Yeah, when you won the World Series in 92 and 93, it was over 4 million fans in total.
But even leading up to that, you're still averaging 4 million a couple of years.
Yeah, the year you lost it, you were averaging high threes, low fours. And then look, when the Jays were bad, 2 million. Bad again, 2.9, 2.8, 2.5, 2.5, 2.4, 2.1.
Yeah, there's a lot.
1.7, 1.9, 1.6, 1.7, 1.9. Then in 05, when the team started to get a little bit better, 2 million. Then they're a little better the year next year, 2 million again. A little bit better, 2.3, 2.3, 2.3. Then a year they're really bad again, 1.8. I've said this with I'm not even blaming fans when I'm saying they don't go when the team is bad. Especially now when a family of 4 is $500. And realistically, it's $500 because Chazzy is the only one who's a parent here. Chazzy, if you take your kids or your kid to a Jays game and they really want a popcorn, even though it's $15 or whatever for a popcorn, you think it's ridiculous. Are you going to buy your kid the popcorn?
They're going to have to make sure they get a soft drink because there's salt.
And then you got to buy the soft drink too. So right now, on top of your $100 ticket, you driving from just north of Barrie, you're $100 in transportation. Now you're also spending between, food for you and your wife and your kid. You're now spending easily another $120, $130.
You got to bring BiPup with you too.
Oh, you're bringing.
That makes it to 4, right?
You're bringing the puppy, yeah. Again, you're $400 just in tickets, and I'll be honest, I don't know if $100 feeds a family of 4 at a Jays game right now.
No.
Considering a Big Mary combo is $30.
One thing you guys are forgetting about the attendance. I don't know why we're talking about this now, but anyway, kind of interesting topic here.
Oh my gosh, the year 22, they didn't even get 1 million people. Now that might have been a COVID year.
Yeah.
One thing you're forgetting about, since the Jays have done the beautiful new renovations by adding the TD Park and
was
and the
down last
Corona
year, Dan.
deck and the upper flight, the WestJet flight deck and all that. You lost a lot of seats. I
But
agree.
you're
It
selling a
brings,
lot of walking around tickets that are cheaper that
Yeah.
people like.
You probably get more people in there now.
You're getting more people now than you were before.
true.
Maybe
and the
less
other
seats,
thing,
but people
I
don't
guess
go
that's
to
a
a
good point.
baseball game to watch it. Continue.
the
though.
other thing I wanted to point out too, with attendance, if you go back in the earlier years, back then you had the Montreal Expos. So now now you're the only team in all of Canada with a Major League Baseball
So
team.
your attendance
So,
should
for
be better,
example,
not
we
worse.
see.
Yeah.
Well, that's what I'm saying. That's why the attendance went up after 05, right? Because I think the Expos got canceled. What 03, 04?
Yeah,
You're
but
right,
you're
the
still
attendance
around
did go up.
2.5, 3. You're at
And-
4 million when the Expos were in the league.
Yeah, true.
And then
yeah,
your attendance went down again by 2010 because the team was bad.
right.
But the thing is, though, you have to look at it. It's
The
kind of
Rocket,
like
I think,
someone.
killed it too.
If someone says to you, "Hey, I want to go to the movies and I want to watch this movie that you think is terrible," are you going to go spend $80 again?
I'll just say it
ticket?
depends who I'm going with.
Okay, let's say Lane wants to go see Birdemic at the movie theater. And it's going to cost you $30 for the ticket,
Royal Rumble under the-
$30 for your
under the lights of
popcorn
theater.
and your root beer. You're at $60 now, and he wants to go to the movie theater in Oakville, so there's another $20 in gas. Do you want to spend $80 to go watch something that you will not enjoy?
Not on Lane, but on a hot date, sir.
Lane is a beautiful day. Come on, look at him.
You know what I mean.
Look at that smile. That's all I'm getting at, though, right? Like, I am concerned if the Jays start to struggle again. Because let's be honest, being a Jays fan, truthfully, since the bat flipping guy, help me out.
Batista.
Batista. Ever since that Batista era has ended, it's been tough to be a Jays fan.
Oh, for sure.
Because you got Guerrero and Bichette and you thought everything was fixed. And it's just been it hasn't worked. So
It'd be interesting to know across the league, like we're now talking new collective bargaining agreement. The players do not want a cap. However, over the years we're just talking, the Jays' attendance has decreased, or they really haven't gotten to that number that they were in the early to mid 90s.
I'll just say it too. The reason why attendance was so high in the 90s is because the Sky Dome just opened. It was a brand new arena. It's a hot thing in Toronto. So it's cute that they did the updates, but are you at the point your Sky Dome needs to be replaced?
Well, I think that's why they
No.
did all this $500 million in renovations.
just to put in perspective, the Yankees are averaging, even the COVID year, they hit just under 2 million fans.
Well, that's the other
And they're
thing I want
getting
to say, too.
3.1,
We're always
3.2, 3.9,
criticizing.
3. Dan, it's very comparable.
Where were
No, I
they?
know.
Where were they in the 2000 and the 90s?
The 90s, they actually got quite a bit less attendance than the Jays.
I wonder what
Yeah,
the
small arena back then.
capacity was. That's probably what 30, 40,000 maybe.
Yeah,
The
fact.
Sky Dome only holds 41.
No, but the old Yankee Stadium I don't think it's as big as the new Yankee Stadium.
No,
Even
definitely
now,
not.
the Yankees are way ahead of the Jays for current attendance right now by baseballreference.com. Yankees have already had just over 2.3 million in fans, where the Jays are only at 1.8. So the Jays are on pace actually to have a worse season attendance-ly. Now, I think it'll pick up because they're averaging 40,000 fans a night now. Beginning of the year, no one was going.
Mm.
You're also comparing an A market to a B market. It's like
Toronto is not a
comparing-
B market, Dan.
No.
You're on absolute glue to call
No.
Toronto a B market. Toronto is an
No,
A
let me
market.
finish. It's like you're comparing a hockey, the attendance from the Maple Leafs to the Red Wings. Okay, the Red Wings is the original 6 team and dominant franchise.
Maple
Blah,
Leafs
blah,
is an
blah.
original 6 team.
But
Maple Leafs is an original 6 team.
I know they are. But the Maple Leafs is the pinnacle of hockey versus the Blue Jays are not the pinnacle of baseball.
Chazzy's
but
like,
the
as a
Yankees
Habs fan,
are.
he's just boiling more than that water was for my hot dog that should have been.
Like you're right, it's the pinnacle of hockey. Okay, the Yankees are the pinnacle of baseball. So the Yankees are always going to be for Jays, and that's something I want to say too. We're so quick to criticize for Blue Jays. We used to get our friend of the show, Peter, on the show, who's a huge Yankee fan. if I'm a Yankee fan, I am hitting the panic button like crazy because he did a couple of little things on trade deadline that was fine and dandy, but you still have Boone. You blew up the World Series last year, and now you're third in the division now. Like, Boone has – Peter's been calling this since I've known him, like, for, like, years, but Boone has to get fired.
I agree with that.
Has to. I don't care if you fire him middle of the season.
They're making some mindless errors. Like
it's bad. Like, we're talking about the Blue Jays. Okay, Jacob's talking like we're lost. We're still number one in the division. We're only up by 3, but we're still up by 3. The Yankees are third in the division, and they're the pinnacle of baseball.
That's not what you should be concerned about. It's the Red Sox now.
Well, exactly. That's why it's a panic more as a Yankee fan.
Dan,
you even got the Red Sox ahead of you.
What's interesting, Dan, though, when you mentioned attendance, did you know the Leafs attendance is on a bit of a downward trend?
Yes,
not a lot.
Wow, really?
But a little bit. Last year, 18,789. Year before that, 18,753. Pre-COVID, 19,031 per game. 19,087, 19,774, 19,158. And again, do people want to spend? Just gonna call it out. A Leaf game, my gosh, you're way more than $500 for a family of 4 if you want a half decent seat. If you want standing room, you're probably more than that.
Well,
preseason games are $130. To go to a Leaf game for preseason is $130. Do people? I do wonder: are the sports markets pricing themselves out?
100%.
And we're going to wrap up the live here soon, so we still have a pre-tape to do. But I think
it'll be interesting because of the immersive experience. I can't off the top of my mind. There's a big company that has the restaurant, but where you're sitting in the restaurant, it's like you're on the ice. So that experience of bringing you on the ice, and it's immersive and technology. So it'll be interesting they're trying to put you into that virtual, like almost in it, compared to being there where you're still far away, where like you're in the middle of something. Like it'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Totally, what I find interesting when you mention immersiveness and entertainment, I'm going to say this: the Jays' entertainment between innings is terrible.
Yeah.
Like, it's literally just watching animated videos that are the same every game except one little thing's changed. Like, oh, this time it's the junior Jay that's stuck in the peanut butter instead of the old Jay. It's literally all it is. It's terrible. Like,
did they update the screen with all the rentals or no?
Yeah, they put it on the giant screen, but it's the same video every game.
No, but did they update the technology of that screen?
Oh, sure, it's in clear HD. That's great, but it's still boring as hell. Like, even the fan engagement stuff, they do one trivia thing for the entire game, and that's it. Like, there's no, like, you go to, and maybe you guys can answer this more. Maybe this is a culture difference between football and baseball. But football, there's like a whole bunch of times where they're chucking T-shirts in the stadium. The Jays did it once in a one little 100 level area where half of the joke was them just trying to move a box without touching the box. Like, I'm sorry, it's boring. They say junior Jays, oh, we're going to give away T-shirts. The kids probably aren't sitting in the 100s behind the dugout. No, they're sitting up in the 500s because that's all the parents can afford. And these kids desperately want one of these shirts. And maybe you guys think I'm stupid, and that's fine if you do. But I don't know. I just think the Jays need, if they're going to start charging $100 plus to sit in the 500s, then they need to do more than what they're doing for the added value. If they're doing it at the beginning of the season next year, the attendance is going to be bad. I'm calling it. I agree with that. If you're at the beginning of the year and it's $100 to sit in the 500s and you're fighting against so many other sports at the beginning of the year, attendance is going to be bad.
I bet you what happened this year is a lot of people buy flex packs and different things before the year even started.
Next year, I bet.
Oh, I get that. But what happened is, like, someone would have bought a flex pack in February for games in August and September for their kids at like $20 a ticket. And luckily they got their $100 seat now for $20. I think that's what we're seeing.
Well, I remember like 2 years, like last year, I bought a ticket for Dan and I for $7 a ticket.
Yeah.
And I'm not kidding.
Mm-hmm.
Even the cheapest seat for August 16th is $76. And it's 537 row 18. It basically up in the boonies where the guy peed. Yes, that did happen. And if we're going to go by best view, all that's available. Like you're going $1,000.12,
That's
and
my
that's
point.
the area they're giving out the free T-shirts. If you can afford $1,000 for a ticket, you can afford a shirt. Maybe you guys think I'm nuts. I don't know. Chazzy and Lane are quiet. When Lane's quiet, it concerns me. When Chazzy's quiet, it's probably because he muted his mic again by accident. But
No, I feel the Jays. Well, I think they did last year more of those pregame giveaways where I haven't seen them as much this
they're
year.
hardly.
That's
doing
true
it.
too.
They had a lot more. I felt last year.
I feel
Could
that
be wrong.
too.
They're not
But
doing a lot of them
Jays
this year.
fans love that. They'll line up for.
Yeah.
Everyone does. The Argo home opener with free Grey Cup rings had 18,000 people at it. Unfortunately, the team was terrible. But I don't know. I'm just concerned.
Yeah.
Because I think you're finally getting people back into the ballpark, and then you might literally just price them out.
Yeah. But you look at the
Actually,
economy.
you know what's really weird? I can still buy tickets for today's game, like August 3rd, on Ticketmaster. Hopefully, if anyone buys it by accident, that doesn't get. But I'm just on Ticketmaster to kind of check out the prices, just to kind of compare. And yeah, 500s is $96 because it's all verified resellers.
But you can also, I looked at tickets. You could buy tickets in September for $20 still. So it's not every game.
But that's going to change. I don't know. Maybe he's got to buy them really early, but I just don't like the. I don't like what's going on right now. Like you're looking like to be by the visitors dugout $823,
But
behind
Jacob,
the Jays dugout $714 plus fees.
The economy has probably gone better. I remember when gas was 39 cents a liter. Now gas is $1.39 a liter. I remember you used to get a Big Mac combo $3.99. Now
Yeah,
it's
that's not the same.
$12.99.
Look, on the Streakers Island podcast, I will fight for the little guy. I will fight for the fan that wants to go to a game and take his family because his kid is a huge Jays fan, but they don't have $500.
Yeah, I hear you.
I will fight for them. I will fight for you. I will fight for the people.
Listen.
I will not fight Lane because he's the heavyweight champion.
Good news, you could still go. There's still tickets for like $20 against the Twins later in the month.
Okay, so I guess maybe you just gotta. But the problem is, a lot of people don't know if they can make it a game a month or 2 months in advance. If anything, my gosh, just bought. But problem is, then I'm going to say it. Now you get people who are buying those tickets for $20. They're waiting, and then they're selling them for $200 on Kijiji day of. Because right now, a one in the very back, like if we go section 522, row 22, they're $142 a ticket. I don't know. That's why I say if the Jays continue to play this bad, which I'm sorry, it's possible. If they continue to play this bad and they are still trying to charge people $100, and you're telling me they're going to go in late September when they've lost 10 of their last 12?
Don't forget, it's not the Jays selling them for $100. It's people reselling for tickets for $100.
True. Dan's got a point.
He has a point, fine, but then you know what? Maybe do what other teams have done, and you get in a lot of trouble for reselling over marketing over a certain percentage. The Ottawa Red Blacks do that. You guys can shake your heads all you want. If you get caught for the Red Blacks, you can literally be banned from buying tickets.
Okay, if you get caught speeding and get a ticket, people still do it.
Okay, but it would at least be something. The Jays right now are just shrugging their shoulders.
Yeah, 100%.
I'm telling you, if it's late August and this team has been playing really bad and the only tickets they can find are scalpers for $100 for tickets that should be $20, it's not going to be a good look. That's all I'm saying. But I think it's time we wrap up the show for the night. Dan agrees. Chazzy's muted again. Always a good time.
I'm getting our props in for the island.
Yeah, we do have a pre-recorded show to do still at it's almost midnight, so we're gonna record a little early for us. We usually record around 1 a.m, so we're good. But pre-recorded show. Make sure you download the Streakers app and jump into our sports booth, and also be watching out for Lane's sports booth and doing some testing on it. Lane and Chazzy are making it the best wrestling platform it can be. So much that it's shaking my camera in excitement. Thank you very much for everyone. I'm the self-proclaimed sports analyst, joined by Mr. More Free Money. Woo! Mr. Chazzy, 7.63. And the one, the only, the undisputed champion, Lane Dashko. See everyone later.
Bye.